Hi, Crime Junkie Jurors. Today is Friday, May 2nd, and we just wrapped up with day 8 of Karen Reed's second trial. Now, today, y'all, it was explosive. Jen McCabe was back on the stand today as defense attorney Alan Jackson continued her cross-examination. Now, there were quite a few OMG moments and no shortage of drama today. So here are my top 3 jaw-dropping moments in court on day 8. First up, new text. So Jackson entered some of Jen's text into evidence today, and some of them we saw in the last trial, but this time there are some included that we haven't heard before, including this one from Jen McCabe to her sister, Nicole.
Can you read for the jurors what you texted to your sister at 7:54?
Sure. Kerry talked to the cops and kept it simple.
Who's Kerry?
Kerry Roberts.
And this is a text that you sent about Miss Roberts's interview with the police.
Yes, it is.
Now, if you want to see the whole text thread, check out the live stream from today, day 8. The texts actually start around the 1 hour mark, and this is one of the very first ones read. But keep it simple. What is that supposed to mean? Now, Jen wasn't done texting about Kerry and what she's telling police. Jackson also brought in a group text between Jen and her husband, Matt McCabe, and her sister, Nicole Albert, and then Nicole's husband, Brian Albert. They are the 2 homeowners at 34 Fairview. So apparently Kerry is at Jen's house during this interview, and Jen and Matt are literally listening to what she's saying and texting the group. And Jen tells the group that Kerry is over there telling them everything, telling them all of it. And she said she loves it. And Matt makes a comment about how if Karen pleads out, this will end. But if she fights it, it will be an episode. We've never heard that before. Now, there's also a conversation with Nicole Albert, Jen's sister, and Jen on January 29th. And Jen actually asks Nicole if there are any updates. And Nicole tells Jen, "We'll get more info tomorrow. Don't want to text about it." Now, there's usually only one reason why someone doesn't want to text about something, and that's because they don't want it in writing. So, what was happening tomorrow that would give them more info? What could that text be about? Well, that brings me to my number 2 moment, the GPS data. So on day 2 of the trial, Kerry Roberts testified that she and Jen McCabe went to John O'Keefe's house on January 30th, and they stayed there for a while. Then they left and drove to Lanks to drop her daughter off before going home. And Jackson asked Kerry, "Did you go to 34 Fairview on your way there?" And she said no. Now, last year, Jackson brought up to Jen McCabe that the report shows that they stopped at Fairview. And Jen denied it too. Jen says, "No, we didn't stop at Fairview. We just drove by on the way." Now, today, Jackson enters in the very specific timestamps of Jen's GPS location on her phone, showing that she and Kerry did, in fact, stop at 34 Fairview for at least 4 to 6 minutes. And now she has a new explanation.
We drove by and stopped, yes. Slowly stopped, yes.
You went in the house and spoke with someone.
No, I never went in the house.
Why did you go by and just stop?
I think Kerry and I just went by to take a look at it. We were still trying to figure everything out.
Stayed there for 4 to 6 minutes?
I'd have to look at the report, but yeah, we were sitting in the car kind of just like, oh my God, looking.
Okay, so here's why this is such a huge deal. Jen and her sister are talking about how they're going to get more information the next day, and they don't want to text about it. Then Jen goes to Sergeant Lang's house the next day, but she doesn't tell anyone about it. And the only reason that this even came up is because the defense figured it out based on her GPS location. So now she explains it's to drop off Kerry's daughter, but location data shows that before they went there, they stopped by 34 Fairview, the very home of the sister that Jen was talking to about getting more information the next day. And they also went to Jen's before going to Lang's, when their story was that they just swung by there on the way home from John O'Keefe's house. So it was this huge gotcha moment on telling the truth about where they were and where they went. But the question is, why? Now, for the full exchange on this, check out today's stream. It starts around the 1 hour and 40-minute mark. Okay, finally, my third and craziest moment of day 8 is Jen McCabe helping the feds. So here's what happened. Jackson is questioning Jen on her cooperation with law enforcement. And she says she has cooperated with every law enforcement officer who has wanted to talk to her. And Jackson's like, okay, well, yeah, to all the local ones that you know and have lifelong small town history with. But when the feds came, you shut it down quick, telling them that you didn't feel comfortable answering questions anymore. Now, he can't say the feds because the jury can't know it's a federal investigation. So he's saying this other law enforcement agency. But when he says this, Jen gave this jaw-dropping response.
And I answered all their questions that they asked. I helped clear up some misconceptions that they had been told. And as you know, I know they're no longer investigating. So I think I helped them well.
And you're obviously well aware that in that first interview, you stopped the interview cold and refused to answer further questions, correct?
I said, I'm going to stop and I'm going to seek some counsel, yes.
Okay, now keep in mind, Jen has been on the stand for like 3 days now. And the entire time she has been saying that she's just a small town, normal mom. And Jackson keeps kind of pushing, asking if she's colluding with others or trying to control the investigation, and if she's working to get her story to the police. And the entire time, she's like denying this, saying, no, I'm not trying to get my story to anyone. I'm not controlling anything. And then after 3 days, right before she's about to get off the stand, she turns around and basically says, yeah, they were told something. So I told them my version of it to clear it up and then helped them. So now their investigation is over. What? Y'all, my jaw dropped. She made it 3 days denying it and then said this at the end. It was the craziest moment. And if you want to see the reaction in real time, it's around the 5 hour and 56-minute mark in the stream. I couldn't believe it. So huge moment. Huge moment. And a huge ending to week 2. There's a lot that happened this week. So I'm going to do a full breakdown of the entire week in this week's podcast episode, including everything that you may have missed, how testimony this year compares to what was said in the last trial, and some behind the scenes and out of court info about what's been going on this week, including some of Karen Reed's own words. Check out 13th Juror Podcast anywhere you get your podcast, and the new episode will be out this weekend. So that's it for now, but we will be back Monday at 9 a.m. for day 9. So come watch live with us, react, chat, and I'll be breaking things down as we go. Now, if you're new to this case, I know it can kind of get complicated, but no worries. I'm giving all of the background info and all of the context so that you're never lost on anything. And it's a lot of fun to chat with everybody while we're doing it. So come join us. That will be Monday morning, 9 a.m. right here on Crime Junkie Jury.